This is probably the strangest video I've ever filmed. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a hair video. I almost never do hair videos on my channel, but you guys always ask me how I do my kind of Farrah Fawcett flipped hair. So I thought, you know, I haven't done my hair. It's freshly washed. What a better time to film this. So as I said, my hair is freshly washed and I did let it air dry, and it is humid outside, so my hair is ginormous, and yeah. So my hair isn't that long. I recently cut my hair not too long ago and I chopped quite a bit of it off, and I am due for a haircut. I don't like my bangs this long. I typically like my bangs around where my nose is, but I'm not about to cut my hair. I don't really trust myself cutting my own hair. But the main thing with this hairstyle is going to be your haircut. It is going to look different if you don't have a certain haircut, layers, face framing. I have something called a shag haircut, like a modernized shag haircut. So all of this hair over here on like the top part of my hair is like pretty much the same length as my bangs. I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to explain it at like the most simple way. All my hair right here is pretty much the same length. It should be shorter. It should be like up to here normally, but you know, I've let my hair grow out a little bit. But yes, I have tons and tons and tons of layers, and pretty much the bottom half of my hair, like from my ears down, is pretty much a blunt haircut. So that'll give you guys a little bit of background on my hair. And I do have medium hair. If you guys don't know, there's like two different ways to do your hair. So there's your actual hair strand, could be fine, medium, thick, and then per square inch of your hair, like how much hair you have in that section. Mine is pretty medium, but you could have thin hair but lots of it, if that makes sense. So my hair is pretty medium in that category. So now we're gonna get into pre-prepping for this. I personally don't like putting a lot of volumizer and stuff in my hair because I feel like with this hairstyle, it is kind of like flowy, feathered, you know, like really airy. So I don't like to put a lot of product. Some people do put a lot of like volumizer, root lifting in the front of their hair, but I think my natural volume is enough for me. And then I did use the new Drunk Elephant hair products before this. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll have it linked down below and in the cards for you guys. So I used the detangler. I use that, and then I also use this Pepperelli Prime and Prep detangler. I wanted to use both of them this time because this one, I know how much it protects against heat, and it also is formulated with biotin, vitamin B and D, and it blocks UV rays. And this is the second bottle that I've had of this, so I'm really used to having this one. And with the Drunk Elephant one, I still can't figure out to what heat it protects against too, so just to be safe, then sorry, I doubled up on this. Next thing, before I go in with hot tools, I use the Hot Toddy Heat Protection Mist. I'm not a big fan of the way this smells, but it does do a good job of protecting my hair, since you guys know I color, bleach, do everything with my hair all the time. So we're gonna get a nice, good coating in this hair. And I kind of like to layer it because if you spray your hair while it's down, just like this, you don't really get in the middle of your hair. So that's why I'm kind of doing this. I'm a lunatic, I know. So not a big fan of the smell. So after I spray this all throughout my hair, I get my wet brush and I start at the bottom of my hair and I work my way up, and I don't really have any knots in my hair. My hair is actually really soft, even though it looks really frizzy. I'm gonna blame that on the humidity. I ran out of my humidity spray, which makes me so sad. And of course, all of the beauty supply stores are closed, so I've not been able to get any of my beauty supplies. There we go. And then after I brush through my hair, I kind of like to let my hair sit for a little bit. I like to let it soak in and not really have just like a layer of protection. I like to let it sit in there, kind of like a serum. You don't want to put a serum on and then put another skincare product on right after it. You just kind of want to let it stick and soak in. While we're letting it do that, I'm going to go over hair tools. Now, you could use pretty much any hair tools that you like. These are just the ones that I have and that I like to use. I do want to try the Dyson straightener, but you know, that's a $500 straightener, and I don't think I'm worthy enough to buy a $500 straightener, because that just sounds crazy. I've had this straightener for a pretty long time. This has been with me. This is by Iconic, and it has all the little things inside, so you don't have to accidentally press any buttons or anything. I don't currently have this turned on, but most of the time when I'm doing this to my hair, I will use a straightener, and occasionally on other times I will use a curling iron. I do like using a curling iron when my hair is a little bit shorter, because I feel like I can give it more of a flip and not so much of a kind of a curl. So this one I've also had for a very long time. I don't really recommend it. I do like the size of it. It is, I believe, an inch curling iron. It's by Chi. But as I've used it, this piece right here has broken, and it is really, really annoying to use it. But this is the general size of what I like to use for like my bangs and stuff, and how I use this, because I'm not going to be using this in today's video. I do want to go over how I use it really fast. So I basically brush through my hair and the clamp towards my face, and I clip it in the middle, and then I turn it, and then I have my finger on it, kind of loosen it up while I'm turning it, and that's how I do my curls with this. All right, so I am gonna zoom you guys out a little bit, and I'm gonna back up so you guys can see my hair almost. There's only a little bit so you can't see at the bottom, but I'm gonna take my hair and I'm gonna section the like tops of my ears down. I'm just gonna clip away the top of my hair with just like a butterfly clip, and we're gonna have a unicorn. Then we got this bottom two sections, and you do want to be sure to brush your hair out, because so you have a natural wave pattern to your hair, and when you have heat, water, or chemicals, it will alter your wave pattern. So you want to make sure to get the kind of kinks out of your hair, because you can put it into the curl. So I'm just gonna section this out in two different pieces. We're gonna do the back piece. I have it sectioned out down the middle. And what I do with my curling iron is I take my hair and I put it in the mid strands, and before I clamp it down, I turn it and then clamp down and go out to, not straight down, but out at an angle, because I only want to curl just a little bit on this bottom section. I don't want it to be too curly. I want the most amount of waves around my face on the front top pieces of my hair, and the least amount on the bottom. But I still want a little bit of a flip. So middle, turning, taking it out at an angle, just like that. And I do have my straightener at about 330 degrees. And depending on your hair, you should have your straighteners and hot tools at certain degrees. Hotter for if you have thicker, more kinky hair. Not as hot if you have fine, pretty straight hair. And I'm doing all these sections away from my face, and also with all these sections of my hair, I'm not really straightening this part. I would normally go through and straighten it and then curl it. I'm not doing that this time because with this kind of hairstyle, like I said earlier, it is supposed to be a little bit more wavy, loose, and airy. Now I'm gonna go right about where my temples are. I don't really want a unicorn horn this time. And then going down the middle, and again, we're just gonna brush through, get all the little knots out. And the more often you do this, the faster it'll be. Like, this is my go-to hairstyle personally, so for me, it only takes like, I wanna say like 15 minutes to do my whole head, to like fix it up and everything. So this one we're gonna section out into 3 different sections, and we're gonna take the curling iron higher up. And again, my hair isn't that curly up at the top. If your hair is curly, I would suggest to go through this part and straighten it out. So now we're gonna take it closer to the scalp and doing the same thing where I kind of twist it and then clamp it, and I'm still going at like almost a 90-degree angle. Here we go. And then we're not messing with it after we touch it, after we curl it. You just kind of leave it be. Middle section, same thing, twisting away from your face, going out with the curl, bloop, bloop, bloop. And then sometimes with the front sections of my face, I'll do something kind of weird. So I'll go and do the same thing and turn it this way. And it gives you that like flip back instead of like the bottom ringlets. And then we got that front piece again. So I'm gonna pull it towards my face and do that same kind of flip, and then curling it towards my face. And this will give it more of that like ringlet effect, or like flipped out effect. It's so hard for me to describe this, but you guys really wanted this video. So next thing is back, like the next section is gonna be up by like the top corners of my forehead. And again, we're not really doing a lot with this section. It's this top section that we're gonna have some fun with. Again, brushing it out. Now for this section, it's a little bit different because we don't want a lot of curl in the back. So we're gonna take this into 3 different sections again. We're gonna take our back section, and I don't know if I told you guys how big of a section I'm using. You can kind of see. I'm just kind of grabbing pieces. So with this one, we're gonna do about as high up as we did the last section, and going that 90 degrees away from your head, letting it kind of flip out. The next section we're gonna take and we're gonna do a little bit closer to the scalp, flipping it still away, except this time we're gonna turn it more towards our face. That's gonna help more with that feathered look. Same with this one. You wanna hold it away from your face, take the straightener, pull it away from your face, and it gives it more of that voluminous flip. There we go. Now we're getting some flips going. Now we got the top of my hair. I'm gonna section this off, like the front bang area away, and we're gonna do this separately. This is when things start looking really crazy. I'm gonna section this off, part this down the middle, and as you guys can see, this section is pretty short compared to the rest of my hair. And we're gonna do the same thing, brushing it out. But for this part, we want a little bit more volume. So I'm gonna take it in half, and you're gonna hold the hair again, like 90 degrees. And we're still doing away from the face, and we're doing closer to the roots and going straight up. And this is gonna help a lot with that kind of airy, bouncy volume in your hair. So same thing, going up. This is pretty hard to do, but I mean, if you're looking for volume, and if you feel like you can never get a lot of volume on the top of your head, whenever you're blow drying, curling, always focus to do your hair like 90 degrees up, and it'll help a lot, trust me. All right, now for the bangs, which is the kind of tricky part, especially because my bangs are a little bit longer. But I'm gonna take out this section. I'm gonna put this section back, and we're gonna comb, brush through this, and we're gonna pull it like up and towards our face. And we're gonna take the straightener and still doing the same thing. And then we're gonna be pulling it towards our face. And you wanna put this close to your scalp, and that'll help get more of that volume, you see what I mean? And because it's towards our face, it'll have more of that feathered look to it. But we're gonna let this cool down, and we'll get through the rest of it. We're gonna leave it alone. And we're gonna do the same thing with this section. Brush it out, keeping it up and towards our face, doing it close to your scalp, and kind of just taking it out like that. Woohoo! I love me some Farrah Fawcett hair, yes. And then the bangs is when it gets a little tricky, because my bangs are a little bit too long for like the normal Farrah hair that's like this. Well, maybe, we'll try. So I'm gonna take this whole bang section, and I'm gonna section out the top part of it in half. And this part is a little bit longer. So we're gonna straighten this first. And then we're gonna keep it up at an angle, and we're gonna curl close to the scalp, and we're gonna curl it straight up. And then once you get closer to the end, we're gonna start turning it like at an angle, just like that. I know this is such a weird tutorial. I have so many angles and like weird stuff going on with this, but it works. Same thing with this piece of hair. We're gonna go flip it, and then once we get towards the end, kind of turn it towards an angle. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're gonna turn my straightener off, and the key part in this is to actually let your hair cool down and stay like this for like 10 minutes. Like when I used to work, I would do my hair like this, and I would leave in the car, drive to work, and then I'm gonna do the next steps like when I got to work. And that is gonna help with keeping this hairstyle really fluffy, voluminous, keeping the curls in place. So I'm just gonna let this curls calm down, relax, and then we're gonna zhuzh it up. All right, it's been about 20 minutes since I've done my hair. So now we're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit. So before I start running my fingers through this, this is a dry texture spray. So it has volume, refresh, hold, dry shampoo, mess-free hairspray, kind of like an all-in-one. That way I don't put too much product in my hair, but I'm really not trying to put too much in my hair. I'm gonna try and like stand a little bit, so I kind of just spray it up in there. Now for the fun part is we're gonna go through with our fingers first and kind of just run it through, and that's just to loosen all the curls up. Then what I do is I flip my hair, like flip my head and flip it. I know it's weird, but it works. This is probably the strangest video I've ever filmed, but I basically just get all my hair down and I flip it and get it all nice and airy. And then the trick to the Farrah Fawcett hair is to get your bangs and your hairbrush and to kind of define the flip with your hairbrush like that. So going through just like that. Pretty easy. My hair is a little bit too long for this. Normally it would come just about to my eye right here, but that is my trick to doing this, is to really focus your hairbrush on the curls where you want them. And because we let them kind of sit and stay where we want it to, actually I'm gonna fix my bangs a little bit. Too long to be sitting across my forehead like that. But this is the biggest thing about the Farrah flip, is like defining it with your hairbrush and letting it sit and stay. And then if you want to, you can always add like shine. I know you don't want too much product, but this is just a little bit of a shine spray. This is by Detangling. This is how I get my Farrah Fawcett flipped hair. I love it so much. I could stare at this for like hours. I don't know about you, but I just think this is so entertaining. I do need a haircut really badly. Normally it would be more like right here, but right now it's like in my face. But if you guys have any other hair video requests, leave them down in the comments. If you haven't seen my Drunk Elephant hair and body review on all their new products, I'll have that video right over here for you guys. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here. Click on it and subscribe to my channel.